What's up guys, it's me Three and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you about stuff I want to see from Hytale, not just from adventure mode and the developers, but from the community and multiplayer as well. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so starting off, one thing I do hope to see post-launch for Hytale is content updates to Adventure. Now, I do hope the story for Adventure mode is complete on release, otherwise what the hell were we waiting 5 years for? But I really hope these updates could expand upon the story, maybe add some more zones, maybe even dimensions if that's in the game, some more story, some more lore, some more items, some more progression, some more difficulty challenge. Make this world continually more difficult, not just like Minecraft who are going to add side content for the rest of existence. We want major meaningful content updates. I think that would be great, and I would really like to see that, as it is kind of the standard these days, especially if Hytale is a free-to-play game like I mentioned in my other video, which you can watch if you want to. I really do hope it will be the right move going forward. Another thing I want from Hytale, which isn't really a feature or a mechanic, I want a massive render distance. I want to be able to see hundreds, even thousands of blocks. Minecraft really struggles with this, and I really think that it hurts the overall experience. But with Hytale, we have much grander worlds. We have much higher and lower peaks and valleys. I want to be able to see the entire world, not the entire world, but as much of it as possible at once. I really think Hytale could benefit from this, especially with all the screenshots we've seen, just all the stuff in the distance. I think it could look incredible, and Hytale could benefit extremely well from this. One other thing I want to see from Hytale's adventure mode is incentivized exploration. Now, whenever we've been watching gameplay of the adventure mode, we haven't really seen anything other than ruins. And since there are going to be so many of these ruins scattered around the map, they need to be worth exploring. Maybe we could get stuff like lore tidbits, notebooks, diaries, maybe some iconic gear that's exclusive to that specific ruin. Just stuff like that makes exploring worth it. I know I'm going to be exploring to hell anyway because I love the world and I want to see as much of it as possible when the game comes out, but for people who aren't me and who want a reason to explore the world and not just explore the main story quests, and we know there are going to be quests, I think that would benefit the game massively, whether it's like an open world boss or, you know, a couple mobs in a cave somewhere with a piece of loot hidden behind them, or maybe some gold. I don't know, man. It could be anything. Just give me a reason to explore. Give me as many strongholds, as many structures as possible to explore. Give me races, give me only things I can only find in specific places by hiding, and give me a ton of those everywhere. Make them original, make them unique, and make them interesting. Now, another thing I want from Hytale is easy to set up co-op adventure. In Minecraft, I'm sorry, I've been using Minecraft as an example a lot in this video, but it's just a comparison I can make, okay? In Minecraft, in order to set up a co-op single player in a shared world, you have to always use a third party, or you have to pay for realms. It's really annoying, it's just really terrible, it's a bad system, and I think with Hytale they have the opportunity to really shape it and make it unique and interesting. I think easy to set up co-op will set the game up for ages. Anyone can make an SMP. They don't need to play Java, they don't need to use they don't need to pay anything. It's all set up for them. All you need to do is press a button, create an IP, create a password, create a custom server, and create a world, and they can just play with all of their friends, anything. And I think if Riot and Hypixel can set that up into their game, I think it will benefit massively. Anyone, and I mean anyone, will be able to set up their own custom SMP, and I think that will be incredibly beneficial. Another thing I want to see from Hytale is a well-told story. Now, it is very common in sandbox games for stories to be incredibly difficult to tell. It's kind of impossible to have scripted environments and scenarios. You can't really have cutscenes, you can't really have anything like that. We do know there will be NPCs that you can talk to, but we don't really know their extent of how we will be able to interact with them. I really hope Hytale finds a way around this limitation and allows us to tell stories more effectively. I'm really curious to see this because I am very interested in Hytale's story. Another thing is high replay value. Hytale has to find a way to keep players coming back, to make players want to open up their world day in and day out, whether that's through repeatable content, lengthy progression, interesting story and zone progression, whatever. It could be anything. but they need to find a way to do this, otherwise their game won't last very long. Or they can have good servers as well, that's good for replayability. But they do need to make the adventure last a long time. I feel like that's very important, and the sandbox element of Hytale, it being a block game and all, does help a ton. But I do hope they could expand upon this with mechanics that use that sandbox element similar to Minecraft's redstone system. I think that would be really interesting if they can find a way to do that. Moving on from the adventure mode, I want to talk about the part of Hytale that no one really likes to talk about, but will be the mode that people play in Hytale: multiplayer. First off, I want to talk about PvP. In Minecraft, as an example, PvP is multiplayer. There's creative servers, there's building servers, there's roleplay, but PvP is king, and Hypixel need to nail it here. We've seen spells, we've seen weapons, and to be honest, the combat I've seen, it didn't look that great. I mean, it can't be much worse than Minecraft's PvP, but I hope they bloody nail it. Okay, I hope they nail the PvP. It has to have a large variety in weapons. We've seen a couple weapons, and Minecraft, actually, now I think about it, Minecraft has no variety in PvP at all. You have swords and bows. Like, that is it. But anyway, we need to see a large variety. I think adding like a sort of class-based system, well, not really massive classes, but like incentivized classes, like how spells work together. So you might have a mage class, how range might have synergy, so you might have a range class, and how melee might have a synergy. I think that would be really great, actually. I think what's important is servers being able to take the base Hytale PvP, make sure that it works for most scenarios, and they can transfer it into any game mode, whether that's factions, Hunger Games, survival, UHC, all of that. And I think that will be really, really good and really, really important for the game's long-term success. This does also pose a problem in terms of balancing in meta, which Minecraft doesn't really focus on at all, because A, it doesn't have many weapons to balance, 2, it does have its own existing hierarchy. So in Minecraft, instead of weapons really being better than others, there's just there's one melee weapon, the sword, there's one ranged weapon, the bow. That's really all you have, and they don't really need to balance it at all. And since I think Hytale isn't going to have a version gap, Minecraft has 2 gaps. One with 2 versions being Java and Bedrock, 2 with people playing on 1.8 and 1.7 and everyone else playing on bloody 1.20 or whatever the updates are on now, I don't know. Hytale isn't going to have that, and with everyone being on the same playing field, Hypixel Studios is going to be able to balance the weapons efficiently, which I think is really healthy for a game. I think balance changes are incredibly healthy, and I hope they support this game in long term. Another thing is community multiplayer servers with mod support. I touched on this in my last video, how their wording of their vision of their server system didn't really make it seem like they wanted third-party servers at all. And with Riot not supporting that ecosystem at all and maybe influencing that decision, I was a bit scared that they wouldn't have multiplayer servers, custom ones in any shape at all. And I think that if that was true, their game would just be terrible. Minecraft succeeds on innovation and experimentation. Servers rise out of nothing by experimenting with game modes, factions, UHC, anarchy servers and all that. You know, it makes the game healthier. With their wording, it kind of makes me scared that they weren't going to implement that. On the other hand, there is the fact that this is being run by Hypixel, one of the biggest modding companies of all time, right? Even in any game, really. And how they said that Riot is kind of basically advisory and not really making the big decisions, which does give me hope, at least, that they aren't taking this route. I really, really hope that the modding capabilities for servers is much bigger than Minecraft. Minecraft is very limited. For vanilla servers, without installing any mods, you only have resource packs and plugins, which is very, very limiting. You do have data packs now, but I don't think they work on old versions. I really, really hope Hypixel Studios facilitates this and allows mods to thrive and for developers to create insanely high quality experiences. I think that would be incredibly beneficial, and I would love to see that as the months roll down Hytale's launch. The last thing I want to see is community run events, host tournaments, Minecraft Monday style. Do you guys remember Minecraft Monday and how insanely fun that was to watch? Holy shit. If you remember, you remember, okay? That was just an insane time period. But I think those could be really helpful, especially if we get a wider variety of game modes from Hytale, instead of just the core factions, Spleef, Hunger Games, all of those ones. We need really more forms of competition, more goofy, wacky game modes. And I feel like community run events could A, generate hype for the game, and B, innovate further into different methods of tournaments and competition. I would love to see community run events in this game. Get all the big Hytale creators, put them into a box, and just make them fight to the death. I feel like that would be awesome. I would love to see that. And yeah, anyways guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you liked it, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Leave a comment if you have any more suggestions that you'd like to see. Maybe a dev might be watching this video, you know. I know you're here. And tap out. Peace. Thanks for watching.